大家好，我是在美国大学教汉语的 Crazy 老师。Welcome back to Crazy 老师's grammar lessons on tenses. Previously, we already talked about the simple, present, past, and future tenses, how they are shown in Chinese and their negation. Make sure you watch that one before you move on to video number 2 on more advanced Chinese tenses. And today we're going to cover progressives like she is eating, and then perfect tense, she has eaten, as well as perfect continuous. She has been eating for 3 minutes. You'll notice those advanced tenses are manifested in a similar fashion as the simple tenses. 我们开始吧。Let's start with the progressive. And as you see in English, you use be verb plus doing. And that's how you express an action is happening right now. Okay, like in she is talking. And in Chinese, we're not going to use be, 是. Instead, we're going to use the word 在. And then plus any action verb or action verb phrases. So in she is talking, 她在说话. Easy, right? And you may ask me, is this 在 same as 我在 Morocco? And yes, that's the same 在, except here we're using it as a device to show the progressive in Chinese. So now let's see, you saw a man eating something weird and you want to ask, what is he eating? 他在吃什么? So quiz time. How would you say I am studying in Chinese? What about past progressive? Let's say, what were you doing at 9 last night? So 昨天晚上9点你在做什么? And in English, as you see, you would simply change the be into the past tense, was doing or were doing. But in Chinese, do you see any change? It's the same, still with 在, and then the action verbs or action phrases, except that you're going to have a past time phrase, right? So this time phrase either is already in your sentence or implied by the context. And now for future progressive, there will be slightly difference. In this case, what will you be doing at this time tomorrow? 明天这个时候你会在做什么? So the main structure are still the same, okay? 在 plus verb or verb phrases. But now, in order to show its future, we're going to use the word 会. Okay, 你会在做什么? And then, of course, you're going to have a time phrase, a future time phrase, right? So either it's written or implied. Okay? So simply add 会 in front of 在. Now, quiz time again. How would you respond to this question? 明天这个时候你会在做什么? What about the negation for progressive? So in English, again, you add the not after the be verb, right? I am not eating. She is not crying. And in Chinese, we're going to put the negation word 不 in front of 在. Okay, so 不在. And then the verb phrase. So I'm not sleeping. 我不在睡觉. And this will work for both present progressive, past progressive. But for the future progressive, just make sure you're gonna put 不 in front of 会在. So 我不会再睡觉. I would not be sleeping tomorrow at this time. 你明白了吗? All right, now let's move on to the perfect tense. And let's start with the present perfect. And in English, to use have or has, and then done, the past participle of the verb. And in Chinese, we have two aspect markers that will help you. One is le and one is guo. And we put it simply after the verb. I will explain to you the difference between le and guo in a minute. Okay, let's see our first example. I have just finished doing homework. 我刚做完了作业. The verb is 做完, finish doing, and then the le after it. Now, how would you express? Have you seen my book? 你看到了我的书吗? Now, what about the negation? Do we use 没有 or do we use 不? Okay, so for perfect tenses, the negation, we're going to use 没有. Okay, 没有 plus the verb. And then notice there's no le when you say you have not done something because there's no action is completed, right? So we don't need to use le. 比如说 I have not finished doing homework. 我没有做完作业. Now it's okay if you just use 没, it's just abbreviations for 没有. Now in a similar fashion, how would you say I have not seen your book? 我没有看到你的书. 你答对了吗? Let's talk about the difference with le and guo. So when you use verb and guo, and I know some people will translate it as have done, but I think it's more precise to translate it as have ever done. Usually it's have you ever done an activity in your life or in the past 10 years? Let's look at the examples. 我去过秘鲁. I have been to Peru in my whole life. Okay, even though I didn't say it, but it's implied. 他吃过 blue cheese. He has had blue cheese. Now the negation form, again, we're using 没有 for perfect tenses. We're all using 没有 to negate. So 没有, and then the verb, and now notice the 过, we still keep the 过. In the negation form, as compared to le. I have not been to Peru. 我没有去过秘鲁. 我没有去过秘鲁 or Peru. Now we have not seen aliens. 我们没有见过aliens. 那现在 how would you say this? They have not had Chinese liquor, like ever. Okay, so whenever you have this sense, like ever or never, I have never done something, I have ever done something, you are going to use 过. Now in all other cases, you're using le. Okay, so now you're going to decide, are you going to use 过 or le in the following three questions? Have you ever thought about going to China? And what about when you want to say, I have never thought about going to China? And then he has studied for 3 hours this morning. So give it a try and put your answer in the comment. I'll get back to you. So now you already know the past tense in Chinese really is often implied, right? Either you have a time phrase or implied, or if it's an action, we use le. And now what do we do with the past perfect? So we're going to understand when do you use past perfect in English so that you'll understand the Chinese one better. Okay, so in English, when do you use past perfect? You use past perfect when you know in a sentence or in a context something have already happened before a past event, a past time point. So in Chinese, if you look at the structure, you'll see there's not really any difference from the present perfect, except that we know this event happened before a past event, a past point, if that makes any sense. So that means the past perfect in Chinese is just implied. But often you're going to see this word that's already, like this thing is already done, before yesterday or something like that. Okay, so now look at the example. I had already gone to bed when he arrived. 他到的时候，我已经去睡觉了。Now you notice when he arrived, in English, you have the past tense, but in Chinese, whenever you use this when, you're actually using the original form of the 到. Okay, 他到的时候, but I know he already arrived. Okay, 我已经去睡觉了. I had already gone to bed. Now, without context, if I take this part out, the verb with le, it could easily be have gone to bed. Let's see one more example. She had gone to China soon after she graduated from the university. 她毕业以后就去了中国. So as you see, it's just verb with le, and then it's implied. So in a similar fashion, the future perfect, we're still gonna need to use 会. Okay, so will you have gone to bed when I get back? 我回来的时候，你会已经睡了吗? So still we have the verb with le to show the perfect tense, and then 会 for the future. So future perfect. Now, how would you express the following? Will you have finished doing homework when I get back? Give it a try. And finally, where it comes to the last one, that is how you express present perfect continuous. So in English is have been doing an action for a prolonged time, and that means you have been doing this action and you will be continuously doing this action in the future too. Okay, so for example, he has been crying for 10 minutes. 他哭了10分钟了. Okay, now notice, first we have two le, and the first le is the after the verb le, that means, oh, he has cried, right? 他哭了. And then the second le is to show he has cried and he will be crying too. Okay, so similarly, whenever you want to say, I have been learning a language for a period of time, always remember, use both le. 我学了9个月阿拉伯语了. Got it? And now the last challenge for you, how would you say, I have been watching this video for 10 minutes and I'm still watching, right? If you find those grammar lessons helpful, make sure to give Crazy 老师 a thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe. If you like more videos like this, be sure let me know in the comment section. 我们下个视频见。